Hello everyone. This is a new topic we are now going to start, and that is RCC. Today, being the first class of RCC, we will introduce you to the principles of reinforced cement concrete, some grades that are available. We will look into each component that goes into making of concrete, and then reinforcement. Then we will see the steel, how each component in RCC is contributing to the overall strength, and what is the beauty of using concrete and why it is so popular. Okay, so let us start with basic concepts of structure. So we all know what is a structure. It's a system of connected elements that carry the load, and those are very functional in terms of facilitating the spaces in between them. Okay, and finally, all these functions are arranged in within this structure, and all the load that comes is transferred to the footing, to the hard strata in the ground. Okay, so this is a basic understanding we need to carry forward in this lecture. Now, in these structures, there are two types based on their construction. One is load bearing, another is frame structure. In load bearing structure, your walls carry the load, and in frame structure, you create a frame either out of RCC or out of steel or any other material, and then the loads are getting transferred. The concept of RCC design. The structural elements in RCC design are footings, column, beams, slab, shear walls, then chhajjas, balcony projections are all the RCC members that you can see in frame structure. And specially mentioned here are the structural elements which actually carry the load. Okay, these are essential. So these carry the load till the footing and then to the hard structure. And there are some non-structural elements which are walls, doors, windows, which are infill material, or they just fill the gaps in between, creating the partition of the spaces. So walls are merely a protection from weathering and also as a partition in the frame structure. So as you can see in this photograph, you can clearly see that there is a column, beam, this whole structure, this whole frame is visible with infill wall. Okay, the walls are just filling up the space that is in between the structure or the frame. Okay, so basic structure or frame structure looks something like this, in which you start with the footing, then you have column, plinth beam, slabs, you have shear walls. This is a lift core. Okay, so ये lift pit है, ये shear wall से बना होता है. Then you have another shear walls going up here. You have beam grids and you have top slab, roofing slab. So likewise, this frame structures are, RCC becomes very important when frame structure comes. Okay, so let us see how the load transfer happens. It's a very important phenomenon to understand how, what are the elements that contribute to the load transfer and how it is transferred. So we all know there are different type of loads that are exerted or that are continuously acting upon any structure or any building. So the first one is live load, which is occupants, furniture, some heavy machineries. Then it's a dead load. Dead load is the self weight of the structure. Then you have wind load or lateral thrust. Wind loads are basically concerned when there are high-rise structures. So wind loads or lateral thrust, ये horizontally act करते हैं structure पे, causing the structure to move and horizontal एक force exert करते हैं. And then you have seismic loads. Seismic loads का मतलब होता है जो load या torsion या moments generate होते हैं किसी भी structure में during earthquake. Okay, so seismic movement जब होता है, जब earthquake होता है, तब जो सारे stresses और strains या फिर loads आते हैं building में, उसे हम seismic load कहते हैं. And finally the gravitational load. So gravity is continuously acting upon any structure. If you are building in the space, there will be no load transfer because no one is exerting any load on anybody because there is no gravity, right? So weight ये concept ही नहीं रहेगा. So when constructing on Earth, you have to consider gravity as well. So that is again one force that is added, or load that is added, which are acting upon any structure. So combiningly ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा loading होता है, which demands a very sound construction system. Okay, so let us see how the loads are getting transferred. In this picture, you can see surface load, linear load, and point load, which are of different kind of loads, which you might have heard in structures. These are acting on the roof slab. Okay, इस slab पे ये सारे forces act हो रहे हैं. Okay, roof slab, roof surface या फिर roof slab. Okay, तो सबसे पहले ये surface पे आएगा, surface के बाद में roof slab पे आएगा. Slab will exert or transfer that load to beams. ये beam grid जो हम देख रहे हैं इस पे डालेगा. Beams are supported on columns, so naturally that load will be transferred to columns. Columns are resting on the footing base or foundation base. Then this column transfers that load to the foundation, which eventually get transferred to the subsoil, which is below the foundation. Okay, so this is a simple downward flow of load. कि लोड टॉप सरफेस से या रूफ सरफेस से सॉइल हार्ड स्ट्राटा तक या सब सॉइल तक कैसे जाता है, इसका एक पाथ दिखाया गया है. So likewise, we will try and analyze how each member undergoes loading and how each member needs to be designed cautiously for its reinforcement as well as concrete. Okay. Now, concept of RCC design. So by understanding this load transfer, we have seen many buildings which are constructed in RCC because it's very commonly used material. It can create solid straight shapes, it can create thin slabs, it can create wavy shapes, circular shapes, curvilinear shapes, and whatnot. So possibilities of construction and form, size, span, and shape is actually unlimited with RCC. That much, easy or that much versatile material this RCC is, and that is why you see a lot of buildings today around you are built in the similar construction system. Okay, let us go through some principles of RCC design, some characteristics that I have added for you to understand why we use construction, RCC construction, and why it is so popular. Okay. So first advantage or characteristic of RCC is it has a very good control over the cross-sectional dimension and shape. One of the major advantage of concrete is the full control over the dimension and structural shape. So basically, construction RCC or concrete is casted. Okay, there are molds and you are pouring the concrete in that mold. जैसे कि POP की कुछ artifacts बनते हैं. एक mold होता है, उसमें POP डाला जाता है, पानी के साथ मिला के, and then that POP is allowed to set, and then you get a art piece. Similarly, you make the molds by the use of formwork and shuttering, and then you pour the concrete, and it takes the desired shape, and that's it. So basically, with the clear understanding of RCC and its principle, and by sound structural engineering, you can actually achieve any dimension and any structural shape. So you have better control over the geometry of the cross section and shape. And any shape can be obtained by preparing a formwork. Right? Now it is very second thing is it is very easily available. So everywhere you get cement, sand, aggregate, water, crushed sand, and also the admixtures. So these are available everywhere on the planet. So this is the key of popularity of concrete. Then it is very economic. It has very good insulation as it is a very good barrier to the noise and heat. It does not allow to transmit the heat or light completely. But longer exposure or longer exposure to sun may cause some transmission, but maximum in maximum cases, concrete is a very good insulator. It has a good binding between steel and concrete. This is a great combination, a great duo that we can see here. One is good in tension, one is good in compression, and these two materials are mixed. And there are very good development of bond in between these two materials, and they work as a homogeneous assembly. And that is the success of concrete, that you can achieve any shape or size or span through it. Then it's a very stable structure. It is strong in compression but weak in tension, the concrete. And steel is strong in tension as well as compression. So in combination, they give a very sound and stable structure. It has less chances of buckling. Concrete members are not slim like steel members. They are very thick members, and they are very, the load carrying capacity due to reinforcement is added further. So chances of buckling are very less. Although there are defects seen in the concrete where there is overloading. So there are chances of buckling, but in major cases, more than other construction material, concrete has very low chances of buckling. Aesthetics, yes, as I told you in earlier lectures, in historical period also we have seen revival of architecture when concrete came into picture, right? The whole bunch of architects were exploring concrete because of its strength, because of its flexibility, as well as the aesthetics. So if you take some structures made by Le Corbusier, you will understand the aesthetics it gives are amazing, and it creates entirely different kind of feel and experience of the space. That is why aesthetics also plays a big role in choosing selecting concrete by many architects. Okay, lesser chances of rusting. As this steel is embedded inside the concrete, it is not exposed to air or moisture, and that is why the steel is protected from corrosion. So rusting does not happen unless the steel is open. Okay, so lesser chances of rusting or termite attack, like in timber's case. Timber construction में क्या होता है कि moisture content ज़्यादा हो जाता है, या moisture पकड़ लेता है timber, या फिर termite attack होता है, या और कुछ cracking आता है. So these kind of problems doesn't occur in a properly constructed and properly cured concrete columns or concrete structure. So these are some characteristics as into why concrete is so much used and explored. Okay. Now let us see the performance of reinforced concrete. Reinforced materials are embedded in the concrete in such a way that two materials resist applied force together. As we discussed earlier, compression and tension taken by steel and concrete. Okay. The compressive strength of concrete and tensile strength of steel form a very strong bond to resist all the stresses over a long span. Okay. Plain concrete is not suitable for most of the construction projects because it can easily withstand the stresses created. It cannot easily withstand the stresses created by vibration or wind or any other forces or bending moments created in the structure. Okay. So PCC is little not suited to the long span structures, or to the bigger structures, or its load carrying capacity is very less, and that is why RCC takes over the main seat. Okay. Concrete consists of a cement, stone and stone aggregate mixture that forms a rigid structure with addition to water. When steel has a high tensile strength embedded in the concrete, the composite material withstands compression, bending and tensile stresses. Such a material can be used for making any size, shape and for utilization of any kind of structure. So you see, thoroughly when we go through this chapter, you will understand how concrete is so flexible, and there is entirely no limitation over its cross section, size or shape. Okay, so that is because because of the components that it is made of. Uses of RCC are numerous. As we discussed earlier, construction of column, beam, footing, slabs, then chajjas, pergolas, roofing slabs. All these are made in RCC. Then you have storage structures like dam, water tank, or tunnels that are built in RCC effectively. It is used to build heavy structures like bridges, walls, tower, underwater structures, then foundations underwater. So, marine engineering is entirely a different branch. They do construction underwater. Then also skyscrapers are built in RCC. Many a times skyscraper are in steel these days, but RCC is also an extensively used material for skyscrapers in early days. Okay. The merits of reinforced cement concrete is it has good binding, stable structure, less chances of buckling, aesthetics, and lesser chances of rusting. Now, all this information that I have talked about gives you an insight about why concrete and what are the qualities, what are the principles behind RCC. Okay. So let us check a video that I would like to show you.
Reinforced cement concrete is the combination of ordinary concrete with a reinforcement to increase its compressive and tensile strength to a great extent. Concrete is a versatile material for modern construction, which is prepared by mixing together well-proportioned quantities of cement, sand, crushed rock or gravel, and water. It has been used from foundations to the rooftops of buildings, in the construction of highways, dams, irrigation canals, drains, and all other conceivable. Before moving on, I would like you to subscribe us and press the bell icon so that you never miss an update. Purpose of reinforcement in concrete. As concrete is very high in compressive strength but has low tensile strength. Thus, when only the compressive loads are acting on the concrete surface, then there is no need of using reinforcement in it. But where tensile forces are also involved, as in beams and slabs, there is a very high risk of failure when plain concrete is used. Steel, however, as we know, has a very high tensile strength. Hence, when these two, concrete and steel, are combined together, a material of construction is obtained that is capable of withstanding all the three types of forces likely to act upon a structure: compressive loads, tensile stresses, and shear forces. Such a material is known as reinforced cement concrete. It has proved extremely useful and reliable in engineering construction. The main principle in the preparation of the reinforced cement concrete is to make a structural material in which steel serves the purpose of bearing the main tensile stresses, concrete bears the main compressive forces, both acting in complete unison. Advantages of reinforced concrete. There are hundreds of advantages of reinforced concrete, but here we will discuss some of the most important advantages of reinforced concrete. 1. Structures made from reinforced concrete are durable. 2. It has a high compressive strength due to concrete. 3. It has a high tensile strength due to reinforcement. 4. It is resistant to fire and other climate changes. 5. Easily available almost anywhere in the world. 6. Too much expertise is not required for working on it. Normal skilled labor can also do it. 7. It can be molded in any form, shape. 8. It can be used in any part of the structure, i.e., from foundation to the top roofing. 9. Repairing cost is almost nil. 10. It is more economical compared to other materials. That's all for today. See
Types of concrete. There are a number of concretes developed over the ages, which suit to different climatic conditions and different site conditions, as well as different performance that is expected out of concrete, and also depending on the strength, the crushing strength of the concrete, and depending on the load bearing capacity, uh, various types of concrete are invented and developed, and these are practiced. Some of the types are mentioned in this sheet, which are PCC, that is plain cement concrete, then RCC, which is our today's topic. You have precast concrete, pre-stressed concrete, lime concrete, fiber reinforced concrete. Then we have lightweight concrete, high density concrete. So these all types are dependent upon the requirement of site and the requirement of load bearing capacity. And there are more types in the concrete, but these are the commonly used concrete that you can see in Indian context, जहाँ पे काफी बार आपको sculptural uses के लिए भी concrete use किया गया आपने देखा होगा. Two or three new additions to concrete are glass reinforced concrete. जैसे steel reinforcement रहता है वैसे glass reinforcement रहता है concrete में. Similarly, fiber reinforced concrete is also available, in which you have fiber as a reinforcement. So likewise, there are multiple types of concretes. Now let us see what is RCC and PCC. What is the difference between two? The cement concrete that we see is a mixture, is a dry mix of cement and fine aggregate or coarse aggregate. Okay, that is a cement or a cement concrete. When sand and water added to it, plain cement concrete is made, that is PCC. Usually PCC beds are used below the foundations. PCC are also used at various locations where you have toilet sunk slabs, or there is less possibility of loading on the structure. There you can use PCC. But when RCC comes into picture, the strength or load bearing capacity of the same cement concrete mix gets strengthened, gets multiplied tenfold, I think. So reinforcement gives the additional ability to withstand the stresses and strain that are developed, which concrete cannot take. The steel comes into picture and take all those tensile stresses. Okay. See, this diagram is very well explaining the performance of beam under various loading conditions. So here you see there are simply supported beam, which is shown over here, and the triangles are showing the loading conditions. So 1, 2, and 3 are loading conditions, and 1 and 2 are the supports. So what happens? The beam tends to buckle. Okay, so this buckling happens. So where there is a crest of this buckling, there you see that the surface of that upper surface of the beam is under tension, whereas the opposite lower surface of that beam is under compression. Okay. Similarly, in the center you see the lower most layer is under tension and the upper portion is under compression. And again, these tension and compression gets inverted at the corner. Top portion is under tension and lower portion is under compression. Now this behavior of any beam is restricted or is avoided by the introduction of steel inside the beams. Now you see this beam is extremely straight. The geometry of beam is maintained due to the addition of these steel bars. Okay, the black ones are indicated as steel bars. Okay, this is again the diagrammatic explanation of how simply supported beam tends to deflect. Okay, the central surface, membrane remains the neutral surface, whereas the upper portion undergoes compression as well as the lower portion undergoes tension. Back to the RCC and cement concrete differentiation. So RCC is made of cement, concrete and steel. Under steel there are some categories that we are going to see, which is MS, HYSD, TMT bar. MS is mild steel, high yield strength steel. Then you have thermomechanically treated bars. So steel जो use होता है construction में, उसके भी बहुत सारे types है, बहुत सारे grades है जो उसके behavior govern करते हैं. Then plain cement concrete जो है उसमें ये constituent elements रहते हैं. There are 5 constituent elements which create the cement concrete. This entire cement concrete plus steel makes you gives you reinforcement or reinforced cement concrete. Okay. Now all the materials that goes into RCC has some usage, some advantages and some disadvantages. So the first material we are going to see is aggregate. Aggregate is basically gravel or crushed stone. Okay. So aggregate is used along with the binding material to bind the concrete properly. But if it is added extra, it may disintegrate the proper setting of the concrete. It disturbs the setting of the concrete. Then you have sand and cement. They also, these are the binding materials for concrete. Cement basically is the strengthening and binding material for masonry joints and concrete. And sand is added again as a main component of the concrete. Now cement, sand and aggregate combinedly make a homogeneous mixture. Okay. Now this mixture is dryly mixed first. Okay. And then admixtures and water is added. Okay. So if sand is added in excess, it make the concrete to cause cracks after setting of the concrete, and eventually the concrete member disintegrate. Similarly, if cement is not up to the proportion, every single element extra may develop some cracks due to the thermal actions and eventually lead to the disintegration of the element. Okay. So cement, sand and aggregate, these 3 elements are extremely important and should be precisely added to the mixture. Then you have water and admixtures. Admixtures are the agents which you add to the mixture of dry concrete or wet concrete, where it acts as a catalyst. It hardens the concrete faster, or it enables it the waterproofing capacity, and so on and so forth. So depending on the usage, your admixtures are available. Okay. So admixtures, if they are added or changed in the proportion or not in the proportion, they may make concrete rigid and eventually cause the cracks. Okay. So likewise, ये सारे अलग-अलग proportion में अगर ना रहे, अगर standard proportions में ना रहे, तो they cause concrete to disintegrate. Okay, it develops crack. It causes the failure of concrete or RCC member. Now, if steel is, steel reinforcement is done in excess, if it is not used properly or in the standard manner, it will get corroded and eventually it will cause the failure of RCC member. So any small material, although it's a very aggregate या फिर admixtures बहुत ही छोटे quantity में होता है, but it has a very significant impact on the entire concrete mix, जिसकी वजह से अगर ये follow ना किया जाए तो आपके concrete member की life खतरे में आ सकती है. Okay, so let us see what are the standard proportion of these integration ingredients. So before that, we need to understand there are multiple grades of concrete. Okay, it starts from M1, M10, M15, M20, and it goes till M100. Okay. So various grades of concrete are used as per the strength that is required for the structure. So we will see how these proportions are devised. The requirement which form the basis of selection and proportioning of mix of ingredients. The first is minimum compressive strength required for the structural consideration. Okay, compressive strength concrete का हमेशा एक concern रहता है. So what grade of concrete to use, it depends on the compressive strength. Second is adequate workability, which is necessary for compaction and working should be easy with the compacting equipment. ठीक है, तो वर्केबिलिटी कंक्रीट की रहनी चाहिए, ये सेकंड एस्पेक्ट रहता है. थर्ड इज वाटर टू सीमेंट रेशियो, ये मैक्सिमम सीमेंट कंटेंट ड्यूरेबिलिटी के लिए अच्छा होता है. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज वाटर टू सीमेंट रेशियो, अगेन इट इज शुड बी डिजायरेबल and it governs the selection of concrete grades. You have maximum cement content to avoid shrinkage and cracking due to temperature cycles in mass concrete. So these are some factors which govern or which form the basis of selection of concrete grades. Now standard mixes. Standard mixes जैसे कि मैंने बताया grades होते हैं M10, M15, M50, M60, M65, M75. Likewise. So what does this suggest? This suggests the kind of mixture of cement, sand and aggregate. जैसे M10 में 1:3:6 ऐसा होता है. So 1 portion of cement, 3 portion of sand and 6 portion of aggregate is mixed together to form an M10 grade concrete. इसकी स्ट्रेंथ मेजर की जाती है न्यूटन पर एनएम स्क्वायर में. Okay, so depending on the compressive strength, the concrete is selected. Okay, so the nominal mix of fixed cement aggregate ratio by volume are varied widely in strength and many result in under or over rich mixes. Under rich मतलब जितना required है उससे कम, over rich is जितना required है उससे ज़्यादा. Okay, for this reason minimum compressive strength has been included in many specification. So अगर किसी भी बिल्डिंग का मैं स्ट्रक्चरल डिजाइन या आरसीसी डिजाइन देखती हूँ जो आरसीसी कंसल्टेंट्स देते हैं, सो वहाँ पे स्पेसिफिकेशन में दिया होता है कि इस स्ट्रक्चर को अच्छे से स्टैंड करने के लिए मिनिमम इतना compressive strength रहना चाहिए कंक्रीट का, ये स्पेसिफाइड होता है. सो अकॉर्डिंगली RCC designers gives you an idea of which concrete grade to use for which structure, okay, depending on the compressive strength. Now these mixes are termed as standard mix. Okay, so ये standard mixes है, standard grades है. There is an Indian standard code 456 which is made in 2000, which tells you what are the various grades of concrete, how it should be used, where it should be used, what are the standard process to use the concrete, and all the principles and construction technologies and standards are given in Indian Standard Code, which is called as IS 456 2000. Okay, so as per IS 456 2000, there are designated concrete mixes and they have designated it into number of grades, M10, M15, M20, likewise. So as per these charts, for M20 grade of concrete, you will use 1 portion of cement, 1.5 portion of sand and 3 portion of aggregate. Now this mix will give you 20 Newton per mm square strength at the end of 28th day of curing. Okay, now these all the grades that are available in the concrete are differentiated into 3 categories as per the table 2 of IS standards 456. The first one being ordinary concrete, which is M10 to M20. The second one is standard concrete, that is M25 to M60. And third is high strength concrete, which is M65 to M100. Usually standard concrete is used for general construction that we see all around in this urban context. Okay. Now let us check what are the constituents and how it contributes to the mix. Now we talk about dry mix. Dry mix is cement is to sand and aggregate. Okay, the dry mix is it has to be in the desired proportion. otherwise it disturbs the overall chemical reaction which happens between cement, sand and water. Okay, so it has to be added in desired proportion. Water for concrete is again a very important phenomena where any water cannot be used for a concrete mix. The water that you are using has to be very clean. Okay. Now this water plays very important role in chemical reaction with sand and water. Okay. So with cement and water. So in presence of water, cement reacts in certain way and makes a jelly or a slurry kind of a thing which binds aggregate, sand and other admixtures together, causing making a homogeneous mixture that we call as plain cement concrete. Okay, so water plays a very important role. Proportion of water is very important when we talk about the concrete mix. Okay, the water which is used for mixing and curing should be free from oil, acids, or any salt or any organic material that might be present in the water. So if this organic material is there, if any salts are there, it causes harm to the steel or it causes harm to the concrete itself, or it disturbs the process of curing and setting of concrete. ठीक है, जब हम मोल्ड्स में कंक्रीट डाल देते हैं, जब फॉर्मवर्क में कंक्रीट पोर कर दिया जाता है, उसके बाद में वो सेट होता है और 28 दिन के अप्रोक्सीमेट पीरियड के बाद में हम उसका शटरिंग निकाल लेते हैं. ठीक है, अब एक्सपेक्टेशन ये है कि उस टाइम पे कंक्रीट सेट हो जाना चाहिए, कंक्रीट हार्ड हो जाना चाहिए. अगर कुछ इम्प्योरिटीज इसमें रहती है तो वो केमिकल रिएक्शन डिस्टर्ब होती है और कंक्रीट अच्छे से सेट नहीं होता है. ओके, सो वाटर and clarity and purity of water is again a very important factor. Also, this water has to be of pH value more than 6. ठीक है, pH value होता है हर किसी केमिकल का या मटेरियल का. सो वो आपको 6 से ज्यादा चाहिए. ठीक है, उससे कम अगर रहा तो वाटर इज सॉल्टी और वाटर इज नॉट सुटेबल फॉर द concrete construction. Okay. Now we move to one more important part, which is admixture. Admixtures are basically additives which are added to speed up the process of a concrete setting, or to strengthen the concrete itself, or to add the properties of damp proofing or water resistant properties to the cement concrete. Okay, so basically admixtures are catalyst which help you enhance the performance of cement concrete or enhance the process that is happening. You can add some admixtures to strengthen the concrete very quickly, जिसका setting time बहुत कम हो जाता है. जैसे मैंने कहा approximate time 28 दिन का होता है. But if you are constructing, let's say underwater foundations, if you are constructing, or you're constructing pile foundations in marshy lands, so there are chances that the water will get in contact with the steel that is inside the concrete. So you need fast setting cement concrete. Okay, so ये fast setting, जो setting time होता है, वो जल्दी होना चाहिए. इसके लिए भी admixtures add करते हैं. वाटर प्रूफिंग के लिए एडमिक्सचर्स ऐड करते हैं. जो एग्जिस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर है उसके क्यूरिंग और उसके रिपेयरिंग के लिए भी काफी सारे एडमिक्सचर्स ऐड किए जाते हैं सीमेंट स्लरी में. सो एडमिक्सचर्स आर बेसिकली एडिटिव्स इन द सीमेंट कंक्रीट which enhance the performance of the cement concrete or which contribute in effective working of the cement concrete. Okay, please note down this definition what I'm talking, because it is not written in the sheet, but it seems more appropriate over what is written over here. Okay. Then admixtures affect the setting time of cement and they are used mostly for specific purpose. जैसे मैंने बताया underwater हो सकता है construction या pile foundation के लिए आपको marshy land में करनी है, and so on and so forth. There are numerous conditions. Snowy climate में जहाँ पे snow बहुत ज़्यादा है, वहाँ पे कंक्रीट का परफॉर्मेंस इंप्रूव करने के लिए आप एडमिक्सचर्स डाल सकते हैं. जहाँ पे हीट बहुत ज्यादा है, डेजर्ट में आपको कंस्ट्रक्शन करना है जहाँ पे एक्सट्रीम हीट है, तो वहां पे कंक्रीट का बिहेवियर डिस्टर्ब हो सकता है, कंक्रीट का सेटिंग डिस्टर्ब हो सकता है, वहां पे एडमिक्सचर्स आप डाल सकते हैं. सो एडमिक्सचर्स बेसिकली आर केमिकल्स which give you the desired effect, and it's a variety of chemicals. ठीक है, admixture कोई एक chemical नहीं होता, it's a variety of chemicals which are added depending on the purpose. Okay, so variety of admixtures are available in the market suited to the varying condition of the site. Okay, now this is something interesting we are going to look, as in how the RCC construction is carried out. Okay, so first you have a design ready with you. Okay, now you make that RCC calculations and everything is done. Slab, beam and column calculations are done, and now on site you start with formwork design. Then the reinforcement bar are or reinforcement cages are constructed and tied together and erected. Then you pour the concrete in existing formwork. Okay, and then you allow that poured concrete to set and to cure for desired period of time, as I said, approximately 28 to 30 days. And then once this concrete is set in the place and it is well cured or well taken care of, then you remove the shuttering, and that is the entire process shown in the flow chart. Okay, to see this process into detail, we will check this YouTube video which is attached to the sheet.